George. My dear fellow friends from the Indian community, representing all the associations which are registered with the embassy, who have gathered over here to organize this farewell reception for me and my wife Isha. We both are very thankful to you for taking time off from your precious evening and joining us here in this venue. In fact, when we recall me and Isha, our first interaction with a large Indian community in a public place was in this very restaurant, Ahilya. So we have very sweet memories of this of that day, and that event was organized by the Indian Restaurant Association of Japan. On that day, if I am correct, 21, and it was still COVID-19 pandemic time. We all were wearing masks, like following the Japanese way. We all were very careful of maintaining 2 meter distance from each other. We all were very careful of venturing out, assembling in public places. Some 30% kind of a voluntary system was in place. We all remember that, those hard, difficult times where we didn't know what the future holds for us. But when I came in here with my wife and we both started meeting people, I very fondly remember that all that fear of COVID-19, it was not there in this building, in this restaurant. What does that mean? That means that we Indians always welcome our guests with our full warmth and full sincerity. And that is what makes Indians stand apart from the rest of the world. We came to know that there are 40,000 Indians in Japan. Out of them, slowly I came to know that around 12,000, 13,000 are highly skilled professionals. A very large number, again nearly 7,000-8,000 were in the restaurant business. I came to know that our Indian community members here, most of them I met on that day, they were building a very strong brand image for India through the restaurant business. And as you know, one of the things which I went through the social media looking for what links India and Japan, I was very surprised, actually not very surprised, but I was looking for more. But then everything came back to Indian food. Any Japanese you would ask, what do you know, what do you think about India? They say Indian food. And that made me realize that such a strong brand which we have about India in Japan, Indian restaurants play a major role. I was very happy to know about that. Secondly, then there were the jewelry business people. Again, whenever I looked at the trade, export, import data of India and Japan, I found gems and jewelry to be one of the topmost imported item from India into Japan. So I went deeper into it, and then within few days I came to know that the Indian Jewelry Association of India and Japan, it is very prominent, it is doing very well, and it has got a very strong hold on the Japanese jewelry market. Then IT sector. Again, that was another area where I found that most of the services are being outsourced again to India. India is, after all, the business process outsourcing center of the world. We have nearly 100 IT companies, small and big, which are enlisted with Japan. That was a number given to me. That is a separate story that I keep asking the list from the Japanese government, but they have not been able to share. that is another area where I realized that there is a lot of potential where we can capitalize on building more and more with Japanese so that our two countries come together. Slowly, we all, me and my family, we all settled down in the COVID rigmarole, and we were able to visit a lot of places in Japan. That was one benefit which we had from the COVID. Most of the weekends I was able to travel out because there was practically not much pressure of visits of the work which we do in person. Things were virtual, many meetings were held virtual, and I used to attend virtual meetings. I used to attend 3 to 4 virtual meetings at a time in 4 different devices. It went to that extent. And then, no, it's nothing to clap about. It's just to show that how much engaged we were with Japan, even in COVID times. So we were very fortunate to travel a lot in Japan during that period, which I realized that our officers now, after that COVID period, I have our officers here, colleagues, they are not so much lucky. So moving around in Japan, everywhere I went, I could find some Indian, somebody to connect with. And again, the warmth and hospitality was very apparent. If you all try to recall that Indian government has been trying very hard to reach out to the Indian diaspora. So when Ambassador with his vision has been trying to activate the Indian diaspora in Japan to an extent that where we can really work hard to meet the expectations, the vision which India is trying to work towards. That is towards being a $5 trillion economy, towards being a super strong country, a very powerful country, towards a Atmanirbhar, self-reliant India. We have elections today, and I'm sure that we are going into the third phase of a stronger government. That means that doesn't mean something, it's something to rejoice about, something to be happy, but that also means that we have a lot of work which is coming in our way. And what our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji last meeting in Pravasi Bharatiya Divas last year had said that all Indian diaspora members are the real Rajdoots of India abroad. So while we in the embassy under Ambassador's leadership, his able guidance, come up with many ideas, and I can tell you there is no dearth of ideas here in this great mind which we have next to us. So while we have so many ideas there, and if you will visit our website and if you will read the brief, the bilateral relations brief of India and Japan, you will see the glimpses of what India and Japan have been doing in the last 2 years alone. I'm not talking about COVID period. 2 years alone. So many projects have been accomplished. So many initiatives have been launched. And they have been launched only because of one thing. Not because the embassy will be able to do it. Because we, as our ambassador has said, please mobilize the Indian diaspora. We will only be able to successful in these initiatives if we have support of the Indian diaspora. And again, I can vouch that the number of activities and events we have seen in the last 1.5 years by the Indian diaspora, I'm sure that I have not seen such activities in my past in any of the missions. Not many missions I have worked, but have seen there or neither have heard. Practically every week we are having 2 to 3 Indian diaspora events. And it is very important for us to continue this momentum. Soon we will be having the annual summit. Again, our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister will be visiting Japan. It is again a moment where we will be looking at Indian diaspora to come up with ideas, to come up with proposals to help us move forward, like we have done in the last 3 visits of the Prime Minister, which I was fortunate enough to work with. I was also very interested when me and my wife used to feel that we want to have Indian food. There were Indian restaurants there to quench our hunger of the Indian food. We never missed India because we realized that we have a very strong family here. Though we have 40,000 Indians, but they are so closely knit that very uniquely there have been other countries, there have been places where we have been in touch with the Indian diaspora. I realized that there are no issues with the Indian diaspora. The Indian diaspora is so positive, so closely knit, and like a brotherhood. This is fantastic. It is not to be seen in many places. There is no, I would say it's a positive energy which comes out from the Indian diaspora in Japan for whatsoever reason. Maybe it is the Japanese culture, maybe it is the Indian culture, or maybe it is the mix of both Indian and Japanese culture, which is very integrated. We all know Japanese and Indian philosophy is more spiritual, more linked to each other through Buddhism and through ancient cultural connects. But I am very happy to see that in Japan, Indian diaspora, you all are really the epitome of the mix of Indian culture and the Japanese culture. I feel very happy when we say konnichiwa, when we wish each other, when we say arigato, when we say bye-bye or we respect each other, we bend like Japanese. These are all traits we all Indians here are doing, even embassy people we do. What does this mean? That Indians have got the capability to assimilate the culture of the country where we go, and this is our strength. So again, as I move on to Jamaica, where Sonu was saying that we have double the number of Indians, 70,000 Indians there are, Indian origin people, around 8,000 to 10,000 Indian passport holders. I'm sure that there also there will be there we have an Indian cultural network. We have with this Indian cultural network, they have around 100 associations which are working together under one umbrella. This is fantastic over there. They come together to organize big events together. They organize many events. There are many Diwalis, there are many Holis, but with the embassy there is one solid event. There will be one solid Holi, there will be one solid Diwali, there will be one solid National Day, there will be one solid high-level visit event. So this Indian cultural network gets activated with the embassy once. They do their own events also. So I think this is something which probably we, Ambassador and we were discussing, that how can we involve one event in a year or sometimes where all the associations come together, and let us join with the embassy, let us join with the government and try to do something which is notable. Because what we are trying to do here using social media is to create the idea of India into each and every Japanese mind. This percolates to business, this percolates to a kind of building momentum of relations. So as I leave today with my family, with my children, with my wife, to a new country, to Jamaica, I reminiscence that the trust and the love which each one of you, your families have given to us, our family, we will always remember this and cherish this as one of the best places, best postings which I have done. As our friend said that we are the alumni of Japan, so I always look forward to coming back to Japan at one point of time with my family, and we, my wife and I, really enjoyed living in Japan, just not only because it's a good country, but because we've had always the support of you and always the support of the embassy. So please feel free to visit us in Jamaica on the free visa. So we'll be very happy to meet you again, and obviously as Ambassador said that we will be following the social media of Japan every day, every time, because the ideas which are generated here with your support are ideas which we can build in each and every place, and then who knows, in the future we might all 213, 16 posts we are our posts are expanding every day. All of them come together in one platform one day. All Indians unite all over the world.
Excellent. Thank you.
In the end, again, like a vote of thanks, I would like to thank Amitabh, Anil, Rohan, Paul Khan, and everybody, all of us who are here for organizing this farewell for us. And I hope that this love will be there forever. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can we have some words from you?